Hi, Dawn Lewis here, and it's day 6 of the ATC 7 Ways in 7 Days video series featuring The Cat's Meow by Mama Elephant, which you can find in Australia at dawnlewis.com.au. Now, there's no ingredients intro today because I seriously made this up as I went along, and I couldn't do it twice because this is literally all I have left of this darling little piece of pattern paper. I've applied 3mm double-sided tape all over my watercolor ATC base, which is 2.5 by 3.5 inches, and I did check if this paper would fit, and it just does. I've been looking for the perfect project to use this gorgeous little scrap, and you will notice there is a join across the middle. So I'm going to show you a tricky way that we are going to cover that up. But first, let's have a look at the stamps we're using today. I am going to stamp 3 kitties from the border onto blending card using Memento Tuxedo black ink because we are going to color with Copic markers today. I did decide to do something rather mad. So the little kitty with the star, I cut around the whiskers. I don't know what I was thinking. I must have been insane. I could have drawn the whiskers in later, but I cut around the whiskers. And you'll notice when I'm fussy cutting, mostly I am moving the cardstock rather than moving the scissors. So it's the kind of thing that, you can cut things out with dies, you can cut things out with your scan and cut, but now and then you just got to use scissors, and I find that this method is the simplest for me, definitely the simplest for me. Alrighty, so now it is time to colour our trio of kitties using Copic markers. The first kitty I am using E30s. These are my oldest Copic markers. It's the set I started with. I did expand it, but I started with 31, 33 and 34, and they're just the most fantastic generic brown. Like, they'll do treasure chests, and they do trees, and they do cats and dogs, and I don't know, if it needs to be brown, they do brown. It's great for hair, definitely great for hair. There is an E30. I find that to be just a little bit too light for the kitties. I did use it in a previous video, and I've got to say, the way you really decide where you're going to put the highlight depends on how far in you're going to colour with those darker colours. So you might have noticed that I started with a fairly large highlight section, and then I changed my mind and I compacted it, and I brought the lines further in. So I've given a little R81 for the ears and the nose, and now I'm going to come in and do the star, which is Y32, Y35 and Y38. You can add some shimmer pen onto that star as well and make it a little bit shiny. I can't remember if I did that or not. I don't think I did. I might actually come back and do that because I think the star needs to shine. I've chosen purple for the center cat's little bow tie, just because there's not a lot of purple in this, but it is a good rainbow color, and the rainbows really are the feature of this pattern paper. The color that I chose for this kitty are the E70s. I think this is my favorite brown combo. It's one of the last brown combos that I got, but I love it so much. It's like chocolate. It just reminds me of a great big vat of melted dark chocolate. I don't know. It's a really gorgeous brown combo. So there's just no rhyme or reason to the code. So when you're shopping for browns and trying to decide which ones you've got, see if you can take a look at a fully complete Copic chart to have a look at what the different browns are, and which ones do you like the most, because there are so many of them and there's no logic in the numbering. Seriously, there's just no logic because they jump around all over the place. This one is very grey. The E30s, they're very kind of orangey. Some of them are very pink. Some of them are very red. It's just, browns are a bit of a mystery. I've opted for the very darkest shades on the moustache, and I'm leaving it darkest at the top with the highlight down the bottom because that's where the swirl is going to be. Now for the kitty on the right, I've chosen an unusual color combo. This is the BV20s. I love this blue violet palette. It looks grey, but it is just a very, 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 very grey purple, and it just works so nicely for this kitty. It's kind of a midnight sky kitty, and it just lends enough. So we've got, you know, something that's very orangey, something that's very brown, and something that's a little grey, and it just adds a bit of variety in the kitties, because I don't know about you, but kitties come in all the different colours and I love them. So I'm going to trim these kitties off. We've got a nice straight line, which is going to help us hide the join in the middle of the ATC. I know. This is a great way to use up very small pieces of pattern paper for a single project. So I've stuck this one across the center, and I'm going to use some silver glitter washi tape to go across the middle here. So I'm just going to trim that off and tuck the ends in behind. Absolutely gorgeous. So it looks like they're sitting on a silver shelf. Now I've taken the Meow, because we're using that on all of them. I'm going to stamp it in Ranger Archival Jet Black ink onto the cloud. See, I made this up as I went along. Who knew the cloud was going to be there? I did get out my sparkle brush. This is a Wink of Stella, but I do have a generic one in the shop that's some pretty good price point, and I'm blinging up all of the rainbows. I am going to go back and bling up that star, I think, because it needs to be done. And that's it. It's a super simple ATC, this one, but it's very effective. Now, I do hope that you are enjoying this series. Thank you so much for watching. There are links below to the project post and the ATC blog post. If you want to join an ATC swap in Australia, check that one out. If you are looking for Mama Elephant in Australia, you can find it at dawnlewis.com.au. I do hope that you have a very crafty day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye for now.